We have our battle number 3. We see it's between the Mythical Mermaids and the Philadelphia Infinite Fusions. Let's go right into introducing our first team. We have the Mythical Mermaids led by Mizusuta playing for the Humane Society of Tampa Bay, currently 11th place at 4 and 6. Again, if you want to pause the VOD or the YouTube video to get a better look at the team sheets, feel free to do so. But we see the top performers of this team. We have the Cloister, the Dragapult, and the Noivern. This team is looking to pick up more wins to get that record a little bit more even. Again, if you want to pause the video, go ahead and do it, but we're just going to move on to the next team, the Philadelphia Infinite Fusions, led by SP, playing for the St. Jude's Children's Hospital, currently 14th and 1 and 9. Another team that's looking to pick up more wins. With the top performers of this team, we have the Espeon and the Toxapex and the Hisuian Decidueye here. Again, feel free to pause the video, pause the VOD if you want to keep looking at the team sheets, or feel free to join our Discord server where the team sheets are always on display. But let's move on to the starting lineups of these two teams. From the Mythical Mermaids, we have the Dragapult, the Noivern, the Mimikyu, the Great Tusk, the Vikavolt, and the Jolteon, or that's not Jolteon, okay, Vaporeon, complete opposite of Jolteon, alright. And the Philadelphia Infinite Fusions, we have the Meowstic, the Murkrow, the Espeon, the Aerodactyl, the Floatzel, and the Toxapex. Let's hop into things with the first Pokemon of the teams. The Mythical Mermaids leading with the Vikavolt, and the Philadelphia Infinite Fusions leading with the Toxapex. Vikavolt going for an immediate Sticky Web, with a Rain Dance being set up by the Toxapex. The Thunderbolt, though, is going to do a lot of damage to the Toxapex, but not quite enough to take it down, with a Toxic Spikes setting up from the Toxapex. The Volt Switch, though, will be enough to take down the Toxapex, the Vikavolt switching out into the Noivern. Of course, not going to get hit by the Toxic Spikes here. The Floatzel then comes out. It is going to get its speed dropped from the Sticky Web, with a Defog being set up by the Noivern to clear all the stats from the field, or all the whatevers from the field. The Floatzel going for a bulk up here, but the Draco Meteor is not quite enough to take down the Floatzel, but not words. The Tompass going into the Aerodactyl. The speed is still going to be dropped, but the attack and defense is going to still be boosted. Yeah, I know, I'm sorry, I'm tired. The Iron Head, though, is going to break the disguise of the Mimikyu. But the Swords Dance being set up by the Mimikyu now, which is a little bit scary, but the Earthquake is not quite enough to take down Mimikyu either. The immediate switch from the Mimikyu into the Vaporeon, with another resisted Iron Head coming through now to hit the Vaporeon. The South Rock is being set up by Aerodactyl, with a Wish then being set up by the Vaporeon. A Dragon Claw is going to do some pretty decent damage, but not quite enough. The Scald isn't enough to knock down the Aerodactyl either, but it did do quite a lot. Wish then bringing the Vaporeon back to full HP, but the Earthquake is going to do a lot more damage. The Scald, though, is going to connect and take down Aerodactyl. Vaporeon only at about half HP, though. Well, a little bit more than half HP because of whatever. But it is the evolution battle, the Vaporeon versus the Espeon here. The Roar, Roar strats being making the Vaporeon switch out into the Vikavolt, but the Bug Buzz is going to bring Espeon down to its Focus Sash. Another roar being set up, bringing the Vaporeon back out. But the Wish is going to come true and bring it back to nearly full HP here with the leftovers. The Trailblaze is going to boost the speed of Espeon. And the Wish, another Wish being set up by the Vaporeon. The Espeon switching out into the Floatzel with a Scald coming through. The Scald is enough to take down Floatzel, and the Wish is going to come true this turn and bring Vaporeon back to full HP. With Meowstic being sent out to replace the Floatzel, the Light Screen being set up, and the Baton Pass into the Dragapult from the Vaporeon. A Shadow Ball is connecting. It did a lot of damage, but isn't enough to take down Meowstic quite yet, but the special defense drop is a little bit scary. Meowstic doing some pretty good damage back to Dragapult, but it is not enough. The Reflect being set up just for a little bit of security for the next battles, but the Meowstic will fall. Espeon then coming back out, and the Shadow Ball is going to bonk the Espeon with just this Murkrow left. The Dragapult switches into the Vikavolt, with the Perish song being set up by Murkrow. The Murkrow wanting to go down on its own accord. The mean look is making the Vikavolt unable to escape, but the Thunderbolt will do some pretty good damage. Will Murkrow be able to go down on its own terms? We do not know. The U-turn can do some damage to the Vikavolt, but the Thunderbolt does even more. And the Perish Song, of course, is not going to work. The Volt Switch is going to take down the Murkrow. The Mythical Mermaids being the winners of this battle. I will say SB said in the chat I wanted to go down on my own terms, but unfortunately the Volt Switch did not let it go down on its own terms. But good battle between the two teams.